everybody again to another exciting edition of the Heat Seat. Today, if you don't know what the hell the Heat Seat is, I got problems. You got a problem, my friend. You don't know how to read captions. You don't know how to freaking look at videos. You don't know like when these come out, and that's on you. I can't help you. Nobody else in the 4.5 marks can help you. My guest here at the time, who is also the cutest person I've ever seen, just letting you know. He has toasted buns today, just like all my other guests here today. He's in the Heat Seat. We have the cutest Carlos.
Yeah, double cheeked up on the Heat Seat.
On the Heat Seat today.
Yeah.
You got that double insulation so that heat won't get to you.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So you've probably seen some of these videos.
Allegedly.
Do you understand the concept of the Heat Seat?
Allegedly.
Allegedly. All right. Do you allegedly know about these hot takes I'm about to tell you?
Probably.
All right, bet. Let's get into it then. So we'll start off with the first take here. We'll start off with maybe something near to you, something dear to you. We'll talk about wrestling weddings going poorly. How do you feel about those? Like, honestly, like every time somebody gets married, either somebody gets shit thrown at them, cake in their face. And I think in Kane's, didn't somebody get set on fire? I think somebody might have.
I think so.
But how do you feel about weddings on TV? Like when wrestling comes on and there's a wedding, you're always just like, shit's gonna go down.
I hate it.
Fair.
I hate it. I think it's just, I don't know. To me, I see it as like the Attitude Era thing. Or like because what was it? Not that long ago, I think the most recent one, I don't know if it was the one done on NXT or if it was Miz and Maurice that I can think of when they redid it, like when Edge did the whole Brood thing and dropped the blood on them or whatever it was. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I just think it's so... It's just done. It's just it's been overdone. It was great maybe in the Attitude Era in the 90s or, however long they were doing it. But especially when they're doing it, when they're just hooking random people up. We're like, oh, like when Undertaker wanted to marry Stephanie McMahon, all the whole Vince McMahon storyline. Oh, yeah. Where even that one was okay, I feel like. But just anything after that, I feel like it's overdone. I hate it. The only time I truly feel like it should be done if it's truly two wrestlers who, a couple wrestlers that want to get married and just want to, for the fans. Yeah. It's at this point, it's kind of like if you brought out, R-Truth in a fucking Speedo at this point in today's day and age.
That'd make money.
It would make money, but it's a cheap laugh. It's a cheap gimmick, and I'm just tired of it.
Fair enough.
So I feel like, especially when you have really, really great storylines going on or whatever, like, yeah, you still want your comedy things or anything, but it's a cheap laugh. Yeah.
So wrestling weddings can go in the ditch and die.
100%. Right, I hate them.
Speaking of, you mentioned early cheap heat, which, well, actually, funny enough, we'll actually circle into the next topic here, which is cheap heat. So you have the heel coming out. Well, we'll say for the context, we'll say it's MJF when he was a heel. He comes out, immediately goes and dogs the city he's in. He's like, oh, I'm coming in, I'm MJF, your team sucks because you're from this state, you're run down, blah, 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 this and that. Well, everybody just boos just because it's like, oh, he dogged our town. How do you feel about people just resorting to that and just to get a rise out of the crowd?
See, it's tough because I feel like MJF, to me, might be like the exception. Because he does it so well. His whole thing is he's better than everyone else, and that's his gimmick. And him and The Miz, honestly. Oh, yeah. I feel like those two are the only ones in my eyes that can do it. And I don't think that's cheap heat, because the whole thing is like, I'm better than you, I don't need your approval. I'm great. Cheap heat to me is when someone comes out and dogs on the obvious. Hits, I think of like Jinder Mahal and Shinsuke. That was cheap heat.
Low-hanging fruits.
It's you can't do that. If you can perform well and get that natural heat, like I hated Dom right now, killing it. Oh yeah, just getting that natural heat. I think that I still think his wrestling can be better, and he still has a lot to learn and a lot to grow there. Yeah. But otherwise, on the mic, that natural heat, the way he interacts with the fans, that man's on fire. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That man's on fire. And from what I've heard, I don't remember, I think it was an Impulsive where Seth Rollins was talking about, like, that man's a sponge. And he's learning. And he's taking advice. And he's not, thinking like he is hot shit and that he's better than everyone else. It's, hey, what can I do better? How can I learn?
Yeah.
And that really, in my opinion, has shown.
Fair.
So,
Fair.
But again, just the low hanging. If the only way you can try to get over and get that natural heat, it's by that low hanging heat, then you need to take a step back and reevaluate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's not going to last. You're riding the wave and what's Jinder Mahal, using Jinder Mahal as an example, what is he doing now?
I think he's on NXT. At least last time I saw him, I thought he was on NXT doing stuff.
But exactly, you think.
Yeah.
No one knows.
He's doing his best, all right?
Yeah.
He used to be WWE champion. Remember that?
A jobber, WWE champion, whatever.
Well, I mean, the Punjabi prison, good colleague could have probably taken that belt.
That man, I don't know.
All right. We'll move on to the next one here. We have actually, what do you have a hot take? What is going on in Carlos's mind where he watches wrestling and there's something he's just like, I fucking hate this.
Like for me right now, it's more of just like, I guess on the creative team, those one-time gimmick matches. That is just horrible.
Oh, you mean the amazing MMA rules match?
It's bad. Like, I get it. You're trying to do something different. You're trying to get a rise from, get more attention on yourself and everything. But if you don't know how to write it, then don't write it. Don't plan it. Mm-hmm. Unless you go up to, in that situation, I feel like if they would have like, hey, Shayna, Ronda, we want to do this, you take full control. Get in whoever you think would help coordinate and choreograph or whatever this fight to be truly what it is. Do it. But otherwise, besides that, I mean, like, an MMA fight doesn't need to be in a wrestling show.
That's true.
A boxing match doesn't need to be in a wrestling show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sumo wrestling 1 year.
Yeah.
Between Big Show and Nakamura.
So that's on the writer side, and give me the steel cage match. Give me a good Hell in a Cell. Bring back. Give me a great ladder match.
Oh yes.
I'd rather take an amazing, small, maybe overdone but solid gimmick match versus an MMA rules fight
or a Mountain Dew Pitch Black match.
A Mountain Dew Pitch Black, which in that one, if it's just a setting, then great. But don't call it. Just don't call it the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match. Just like, I get it, they're doing it for the sponsorship, but just like, hey, they're having a match and just don't let anyone know, because everyone kind of figured like, oh, I bet you it's going to be black lights and whatever.
Which
just
it was.
Do it. Yeah, just do it. Just like, hey, you got LA Knight versus Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
And then have it. And I feel like that would be the surprise. Mm-hmm. Coming out and then just announcing, saying, hey, this match is sponsored by Mountain Dew Pitch Black, whatever.
Right.
And then boom, no one expected it to be whatever. Like, okay, that is just the match setting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's, I feel like, will do enough.
But
you didn't need to call it, as much as I did enjoy it, but you didn't need to call it the Slim Jim Battle Royale.
It would have been nice. But yeah, I see what you're saying.
But you know what I mean?
I see what you're saying.
But even then, like, I feel like, and the reason I probably enjoyed it is because they didn't have fucking Slim Jims all over the match.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Or the AEW Cracker Barrel match. That was actually pretty good. They actually had actual barrels. It was, anyways, that's actually a good match. Let's not talk about it. Let's talk about the shitty stuff. I hate shit.
Yeah.
All right. But I think that'll do it for today. Any closing statements, arguments, screams of outrage from the Heat?
You know what? No.
Okay. The words of wise Carlos. If you think about it, don't. Yeah. Anyways, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again for watching another exciting episode of the Heat Seat. But remember, that check bounces.
So do you.